Hey everybody, doing a quick midday update. So it looks like we have went up higher in the Nasdaq and the ES. Pretty nice move, but we're kind of consolidating right now, right? We're kind of consolidating. Um, if we look at you look at the futures. We got the Nasdaq's up 1.25%. ES is up 0.401. The Dow's actually down due to healthcare and United Healthcare being weak. Um, what else? Russell's basically flat. So you got some mixed messages in the market. As far as the stocks I like to trade, Netflix is really strong today with Snow, Nvidia. Nvidia's at 315, and we got some weakness in what do we have in Coin and Baba. So that's what's going on there. If we go to the market profile, let's do that and show some nuances that I've talked about this morning, right? Pre-market. So let's see what we did, right? So let's look at the ES. So this was yesterday's session with single prints. Okay, we closed up here. The overnight, right, only went here. We opened here. Now remember, this was a key resistance area prior in the ES. So if you notice what we did today, we opened here, pushed down, rocketed up, and went all the way up to this supply zone, all the way up to almost the 4200 in the ES. Okay, we had two naked VPOCs that was hit today. Those are those boxes here and here. And then we kind of came down a little bit. And where did we come down to? Yesterday's most traded price. And then we've been bought up from there. That's what's kind of going on in the ES. Okay, so the single prints were never touched from yesterday. There was single prints today right here that did get cleaned, but they're not no longer there. They got cleaned. Okay, so in the Nasdaq, okay, look what happened in the Nasdaq. We opened here and just drove higher, created single prints, and now we've just been up in this area. Okay, couldn't even make it down to this demand or this most traded price of yesterday. Very bullish. Very bullish. Okay, we still have single prints in this session. And we hit this demand, this supply zone. We were in another supply zone earlier that it broke it. So now it's this supply zone that it's touching and this supply zone that the ES is touching. Okay? So that's what we have going on as market profile. Now we can get into the 30-minute charts. Remember, this is all the story I like to put together for Confluence. Right? This is the story I like to put together. So now I look at the 30-minute charts, volume profiles, only the real-time trading hours. Okay? And let's see, why did the market pull back and what did it find? So if we look at the ES, okay, we came back down basically to this 21 EMA, right? And then we found buyers. Okay, we struggled with going below yesterday's highs, but the 21 EMA basically supported, right? So that's what you see there. And if you look at the Nasdaq's stronger, okay? We opened right below yesterday's highs and then we pushed up, right? Well, what did we do? We came all the way up here, we came down, and what did we come to? The 8 EMA and VWAP. And now we're making a move. Okay? That's what I see there. Now, if you notice, this is very bullish. This is called a bullish imbalance. So you have a profile that is heavy on the top, and you got the most traded price at the top. That is bullish. Most likely, you're going to push up a higher one more time. I'm not saying how we go super far, but we could. Okay, ES has a more balanced profile. Why is that? Well, I'll show you in a second. Okay, let's go over to the gamma levels. Okay, so we got big call walls. Okay, we're about, this is the SPY, so here we go, 417. Okay, then if we go over this, the next one's 418. We already had resistance at 418, so we have to see if we can break 417 and hold it. Okay. Okay, now moving on to the I'll just go SPS. SPS and SPY go together, right? 4175 is a very large call wall, positive gamma level. Okay, 4185 was the largest earlier. Okay, what did we do when we came up to it? We hit it and we sold off. Okay, now we're back at 4175. Okay, can this hold? I'll tell you why I don't think it, we don't go too far. Okay, then we go to the NASDAQ. Okay, the NASDAQ has big call walls in 334 and 335. Now we've been able to go ahead above them, so that is very positive for that market. Earlier I put a call credit spread on, and I just wanted to see 335 break. It did. I'm out of it. Made some money. Not rich from it, but it was profit. So we have to see if it can hold 335. Okay, that's the gamma levels that I'm looking at. Okay, now let's move over to internals. All right, and I'll tell you what I feel from the internals might happen today. Okay, it's pointing to balance. All right, I don't think we go too far much higher. Okay, we'll start with the breath bubbles. Okay, and all this means is when we're red, it's volume going into down stocks. When it's green, it's volume going into up stocks. That's how these breath bubbles are indicating. Okay, so whenever you have a 1 ratio, 1 something to 1, that's not that strong. And it usually is a range bound market. So that's a little tip. Whenever it's a 1, it's usually a range bound market. You're not going to get just break out and keep going, because here's telling you in the NYSE, is the NYSE exchange, there's only a 1.16 to 1 volume going into down stocks. That's not super strong. Okay, in the NASDAQ, which is stronger, right, it's only a 1.2 to 1 going into up stocks, the volume. So that's not very strong. Okay, let's look at the sectors. Let's look at the sectors. Okay, so we got the top 4 weighted sectors. Here is Infotech. No surprise there, up 1.48% off the open, right? Healthcare, though, down almost a 0.5%. That's going to cause some push and pull in the SPY, SPX, whatever, ES. That's going to weigh down a little bit. It's going to it's going to push down moves up. Okay, that's why the NASDAQ is so much stronger. Okay, then you have financials up 0.31 and consumer discretionary almost up a 0.5%. Those are the heavyweights. So you got 3 greens to 1 red of the heavyweight sectors. Okay, and then followed by industrials, communications up pretty good, 1.14. Staples is down a 0.5%, right? And then energy's up 0.75. So out of the top 4, like I said, 1's red, but it's a big one, healthcare. That's why the Dow's so weak. Okay, which would give you some mixed messages in the market. All right. Now we have the let's go to the ADDs, right? So in the S&P 500, out of 500 stocks, parity is 0. It's only a plus 18. That's very benign. Plus 18. So 0 is like 250 and 250 advancing and declining. 18 is very benign. Okay. Now in the actually NQ100 here, we're at 33. Okay. That's not super strong. It's stronger, but it's not super strong. Okay. Now in the weighted AD, which just kind of makes sense of these sectors in a graph. Okay. You have, like no surprise here, the top four weighted sectors, which represents the bars. The bars are weighted. The white line's unweighted, right? So the bars are above, and we're positive over zero. No surprise because the market's moved up, and that's going to give you a stronger market, right? Healthcare, though, if healthcare was green, we'd be going a lot higher. Okay, ticks, we're kind of going both sides. Earlier, we were staying a little red, but ticks, you're not getting much edging right now. They're kind of going both sides. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, as far as stocks, let me show you some important gamma levels for stocks that you have to take note of. Okay. So I'm going to open this up and show you what I'm seeing, right? So this is Apple. 175 is a huge call wall. You see what happened when we went to 175? Sold off. That's putting a lid on this market. Okay? Apple's very heavily weighted. All right, we got Microsoft. It came up to 318, sold off. Google, I just want to see other call walls coming into play. Nvidia, let me just look at that real quick to see because I have to update that. I think there is one. Let me push it down. Yeah, there's 320 is a call wall. But let me just see the live, let's see here. 320 is a big one. Yeah, 320 is the big call wall in the Nvidia. Let's move on. I think coin, let's see, Snow, Amazon, let's see Tesla, it's struggling on the 175. That's a very big call wall in Tesla. It's kind of just hanging around this 175. It can't get higher or below it, right? Meta, see the 245, big call wall. Came above it but couldn't hold it, right? And now we're just kind of pinning around here. Now tomorrow's OPEX, operations, Friday monthly expirations. So options expiration. So these some levels we could pin around tomorrow. Netflix 370, right? Oh, I'm going backwards here. I don't want to go backwards. AMD, JP Morgan. I had a long in that earlier from this. Pulled back too much though. But now it's starting to get some life again. Baba's been weak from earnings. And we're back to Apple, right? So just important in Apple too, this is another level. This is last week's highs. So you see how last week's highs are being resistance. So that's all I wanted to show you guys there. Okay? And the last thing I'll leave you with is the daily chart. Okay. Let me give you that daily chart real quick. And just showing you guys, give me 1 second. Where we're at here. Actually, it can go back. Let me see here. Go back to the gamma levels to just show you this really quickly. So, notice in the SPX and either the SPY, right? This white line is last month's highs. Very important, right? Same in the SPY, right? That's last month's highs and yesterday's highs. So that level was a problem before, but now we're going above it, right? There's just key levels you have to be cognizant of. Okay. Now we're getting some pop in the market, right? And now the question is do we hit 41.85, which is a huge call wall, right? That's the question. See, now we're getting support on the 417. So have to see. Okay. If Apple hits, Apple's right at that last week's highs now. So if Apple hits 175 and the SPX hits 41.85, I think that might be it. All right, but we have to see. Okay, we have to see. As always, subscribe to my channel. Okay, set an alert. If you found this informative, please give me a like. Okay. You got my Twitter handle there. Twitter is Gonzo719. Instagram's Gonzo719 Jersey. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this update. Please feel free to give me any questions. Alright, so today all I did was an SPX call credit spread. Made some money on that, and I had a long in JP Morgan, which was a decent return. I think it was only like a 60% winner. I gave it a lot of room for my stop loss, and I got stopped out. I mean, it was a profit, but I got stopped out. I was up almost 100% on it, but I was thinking there was going to be another move higher, and there wasn't. So that's about it. And everybody who watches my channel or you want to see my channel, join me tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. All right, on Friday. All right, thanks.